It was to Anne and Frank that a boy was born in the year of 77. A little bundle, their family complete, a miracle that they named Kevin. Kev holds his family in high esteem, Mom, Dad and brother John. In fact, most of the girls that Kev had as friends thought that John was quite the Don. With cousins, aunties and uncles galore, it was Nanny Peggy who captured his heart. Many fond memories he has to regale of a special holiday in Rome for a start. It was with great pride, happiness and then some that Kev welcomed his nephew, John's son, William. He thinks he's a hoot, he thinks he's the best, and when he talks about it with pride, he puffs out his chest. A childhood favourite toy of Kev's was a little thing called Pussy. A little ironic given circumstances now, but back then he wasn't so fussy. His dad would stroke his face with this toy, regaining eggs that were laid in a bog. But what were they covered with, I hear you ask? Well, Kev?
A wee bit of fog.
It was in 81 that our friendship began. Me, Kev, Suze, and a bit later, our Cam. Forged in love, blood, sweat and tears, who would have thought it would last through the years? We share the same humour, we share the same thoughts, and if we say so ourselves, we are a group of sorts. And so here we are now on Kev's wedding day, and it is to tell before we knew he was gay. Although, to be honest, it never came as a shock, to learn later on that Kev liked cock.
He's going to hold the picture out for her, hasn't he? He shot the picture.
Sorry, Rennie. We weren't his only friends at school. In fact, Kev was popular, clever and cool. He hung out with alpha males, Philip, Peter, Tony and Mark. They ain't here today. They all had an eye for the girls and they had such a lark. All the girls in our class were probably snobbed by them all. Kev, the clear winner, he was having a ball. The OLSK days were the best by far. I mean, roller skating with me and Suze around the schoolyard. Kev's rollers were funky, black with a lightning flash. No one could catch him. He was the master of dash. Which leads us on nicely to his fashionable ways. From raver to trendy and those Grebo days. However, now it's LV, Cartier, Gucci, Prada and Dior. Long gone are the days of naff naff and Fruit of the Loom. That's for sure. Cam and I were adventurous little souls and would often get into strife. There was a time we dressed up in dresses so flimsy, so cold, we were fighting for life. So up to Kev's we did wander in the hope of getting warm. We weren't disappointed, he took pity on us, and matching shell suit tops were soon snugly on our form. Sorry. As time moved on and we progressed to high school, we all thought we were invincible and totally cool. Drinking and smoking in a churchyard, not good I suppose, especially when Kev was sick spectacularly down his nose. When it came for that time to sober up, you would often find us in the local mobile shop. Another great place to hang out and keep warm was the local laundrette. That's how we rolled. That was the rule. Kev and I shared the little black book. Our secrets in it we did impart. I'd go around to his, we'd sing endless love, and we'd have deep combos straight from the heart. Public transport was our way of getting around, the 752 to school and the number 9 into town. Sometimes on these journeys, Emma Priest would have liked. A force to be reckoned with, we'd quiver in fright. But thank the Lord we never came to any harm. I secretly think it was Kev's humour and charm. It wasn't long before I found love and had sprogs, and so seemed to drop off the radar, but I always made time to follow Kev's antics, if only from afar. The stories I heard never failed to raise a smile, and I'd stayed in touch through text and email. It was a good few years when we were all properly together once more, and with beautiful Danny, our four was no more. We have opened our arms and our hearts to this man. He makes Kev very happy and makes us chuckle. It's our Dan. It goes without saying, and it isn't old news, that his sister from another mister is definitely Sue's. They are one and the same, each other's rod. You could actually say 2 Pete's in a pod. Private joke. Kev was over the moon when an uncle again who was to be, when Sue spawned the lovely, delightful Emily. Kev and Dan became parents themselves to Tommy, their pride and joy. They are fantastic daddies who love and spoil him so much because he is their special boy. In 2018, making us all closer, we took a trip to Rome. There were tears at the airport when it came time to go. We just didn't want to come home. We laughed and we drank till we did peak. Cam even cooked us pasta with pig's cheek. Around the streets of Rome, many a hymn we sang, and my golly, we utilised the app Boomerang. I know for a fact that our story doesn't end there. So many more memories, laughs and adventures we will share. So it goes without saying that we love you dearly, Kev, and feel blessed to share in your day. With Dan by your side and Tommy too, enjoy a life that, like you, is fun, fab and gay.
We first met our Kev at OLSK. Of course, we didn't know back then he was gay. He was my boyfriend, some say by force. You could even argue I turned him off course. He was a trendsetter with his multicoloured docks, his curtain fringe to his long curly locks. We'd have missions down the brook and sleepovers galore, laughing at coke cans, kangaroo tights. Need I say more?
No.
He's been there through us all, through thick and thin, not to mention the troubles he's got us in. He was with me that night when pulled over by a cop, skiving from school at the HMV shop. And if it wasn't for Mr. Noonan catching us that day, we'd have been on that bus and well away. But at last we were taken back to school to face the corners of the foyer looking a fool. His life took a turn when we both got expelled. To Wells he went, and at messing around I excelled. Despite being gay, he was one for the girls. He got all the top coffee when he went to Wells. I will always remember our Friday night routines. Shopping at Safeway's for Anne and Kev filling his jeans, with 2-litre bottles of White Lightning in his pockets at the ready. You can imagine at the end of the night he was a little unsteady. Walking back home drunk, he was always a funny one. Especially when he fell in a pitiful heap at White and Billingham.
Right there.
We always used to play pass the chewing gum. But after the sick down his nose incident, we put a stop to that one. When Kev has his fads, we all groan in disgust. But we know what he's like, his fads are a must. When he decides on something, he goes to extremes. Working out and keeping fit, he's well keen. When Kev gave up alcohol, he let out a muffled, "Oh my God," when he realised he'd eaten a champagne truffle. And then there was the time he didn't wash his hair. Weeks it lasted, with the smell coming off it polluting the air. Remember?
3 months actually.
Kev has tried to be my guru in fashion, taking me shopping in Brum to try and stir up my passion. Trying his hardest to make me trendy, but let's face it, it's not going to work. It's lost on me.
I think you're amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
You went back.
When London was calling, he answered the call, where Suze ended up joining him and living with Paul. There was a period where he left us for sun, sea and drag queens. Who'd have thought he'd fit right into that scene? Epic is a word that defines our nights out. The gay bar in Birmingham, losing each other, running from the taxi, stands out. Nights in aren't so quiet, with parties he's famous for. And the time me, Dan and Kev were crawling around on his bathroom floor.
Say no more.
Staying at Kev's means given half the chance, sticking some tunes on and having a dance. We had parties on the roof of the flat with Helena, going to karaoke in London and drinking Sammys with Amanda. Dan was the only boyfriend of Kev's I've ever known, but definitely not the only bloke Kev's had in his home. They met each other through one of those sites. But instead of a chaff, it turned out to be a delight. Because of course we knew right from the start that quiet little catty boy had stolen our Kev's heart. At first Dan wouldn't say boo to a goose, but now it seems his gob has been let loose. But he's always got a quick wit and makes us laugh loads. And when he came to Rome, something more than laughs flowed down his leg. We've taken to Dan, put him under our wings. We've also taught him a great many things. He still has trouble in saying Birmingham. See? Birmingham.
Birmingham.
Don't try and show off now.
Again, he still has trouble saying Birmingham. But he's making great progress in the lingo of yam yam. And yam yam. They're made for each other like cake and tea. Then came along Tommy, and then there were 3. We know for us all, they'll always have time, as Kev has always been, and always will be, our partner in crime. Me and Kev have had our ups and downs, but there will always be more smiles than frowns. His loyalty and friendship, you definitely can't scoff. He was there by my side to see my mum off. So, to wish them both well, please raise your glasses to Kev and Dan, those sexy asses.
I actually thought Dan was like better or something than me. Everyone seems to think you're from Birmingham. You're right, Daniel. Anywho, now let's move on to Dan's side of the